What's going on, everybody, and welcome back today, finally, to GTA 5. Today we're going to be taking a look at every single car in my Del Perro Heights apartment. We're going to be looking at price as well as performance on every single car with links to my sources in the description down below. Shout out to Bruffy. And I'm even going to record episode 2 if we can hit our like goal today of 20 likes. So be sure to smash that like button if you guys enjoy the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in the gameplay.
What is going on, guys? It is time to finally do this video. It's been way too long. I know I've been saying I wanted to make this video forever, and it's finally here. Garage Tours Part 1. The Del Perro Heights, where it all started. This is where I keep my black and white cars, so y'all are probably gonna hose me for that. They're all black and white, I know that, okay? But these are some of my favorites, and that's why they're here, because this is my apartment. I do have a whole nother garage, but we'll get there when we get there. So I guess what I can do for you guys is kind of walk you through each car. I do know a little bit about each, so here we go, here goes nothing, dude. So starting us off today, guys, we have the Elegy RH8 here. This is one of my favorite cars, and it is actually, this car is free. So this car is modeled after the Nissan GTR R35. It's completely free, so you can go scoop one up from Legendary Motorsports, I believe. It's going to do 118.5 miles per hour at its fastest, and it did a lap time on cutting corners of 102.5. So not a bad contender at all. Still a very fast car, very competitive in the sports class, and it's just an all-around great car. All right, guys, so moving on from the RH8, we have our Elegy Retro Custom here. This is actually my track build. You guys might have seen my my street build in another video, and that one's actually coming up. But we'll focus on this car for now. This car is modeled after the R32 or R33 GTR. There's elements of both. Some people say one, some people say the other. I kind of say both. But this is going to start off with the free Elegy that we mentioned earlier, guys, and is going to cost $904,000 to upgrade over at Benny's. So definitely something to consider if you're going to be building one of these. Its top speed is going to be 115.3 miles per hour at its fastest, and it's going to clock into the lap time of 1 minute 3.4 seconds. So definitely a fast car, great looking car with tons of customization, but not quite as fast as the RH8. Third Nissan in the lineup, guys, we have our 380Z. This car is modeled after the 350Z, and I really wish that there was a street version, because you have to pick this car up at the Arena War, which means that you're going to be dealing with the armor. No matter how you build it, you can't get rid of the armored windshield or the nets in the windows or the scoop in the roof, I don't think. So there's definitely some things that you can't get rid of on this car, which is kind of a bummer. And that being said, guys, it is going to cost you a whopping $2.1 million to get into. It is a very expensive car, and if you're going to use the boosters, that's going to cost you another couple $100,000. So definitely an expensive car, but a lot of fun if you're a drifter. And its top speed is 140.5 miles per hour. So it's super fast, and it drifts like crazy. So I highly recommend checking out the 350Z if you guys haven't already. If you have an extra 2.1 million kicking around in the bank, close to 3 if you want the boosters, definitely worth checking out. So, oh, and the lap time, 1 minute 3.2 seconds. All right, moving on to the Jester. Here we go. So here's the Jester, guys, or the Honda Acura NSX. This car is actually one of my most favored underrated cars in the game. It only comes in at $240,000 to grab, so it's actually really, really cheap in the grand scheme of sports cars in this game. Top speed of 118.8 miles per hour, a little bit faster than the GTR, keep in mind, with a lap time of 103.7, which is still super fast. So definitely recommend checking the Jester out. Super cheap car for a lot of performance, and it looks great. So definitely check out the Jester if you guys haven't. Moving on over here, guys, to the 190Z. I gotta be honest, I did not buy this car for performance at all. I bought it for car meets because it looks sweet. This car is modeled after the Datsun 240Z cars and comes in at $900,000, but it's a very cool classic car. Just awesome old school JDM vibes, driving around the map. You can't go wrong with the 190Z. It's got a top speed of okay, decent-ish. It's got a top speed of 109.8 miles per hour, and it's gonna do a lap around cutting corners of 110.3. So not super fast, but hey, it is a sports classics car and it looks great. You can't go wrong with a little bit of an old school JDM flair, especially if you're hanging out at a car meet or just cruising around with your buds. So still definitely worth a look if you're into some classics and have the extra cash. I gotta be honest on this car, guys, it's in the garage for looks. I don't really love driving this car, but I just love Sultans, and I love Sultan RSs. I just think the culture around the Sultan when the game first came out was so cool. Everybody wanted a Sultan. We would all be looking for them late at night, and when they would finally spawn, we'd drive them back to our garages and tune them up. So when they announced a wide body modded version of the Sultan, it just made me super happy that they were kind of nodding to the car scene in that way. So have to pick this one up. I think it looks amazing. Kind of a mix of a Lexus IS300 with a Subaru WRX STI. which I think is just such a cool combination of cars. This car is going to set you back $12,000 to get you into a Sultan, and then another $795 for all the upgrades over at Benny's. So not the cheapest car on the list, but not the most expensive either. It's going to do a top speed of 117.3 miles per hour and did a cutting corners of 104.3. So actually not as fast as some of the sports cars in the class, even though this one's classified as a super. So that's the big downfall with this car, as well as the Banshee 900R. Unfortunately, Rockstar made these cars supercars, so who knows? Rockstar, why you do this? Moving on to another Sultan in the family here. This one's the Classic. This one's modeled after the Subaru 22B STI, but I have mine kind of styled up to look a little bit more like an Evo 6, so it's kind of half and half for me. You can definitely style this car up to look way more like a 22B, but I tried to keep this a little bit closer to the Evo. This car is going to cost you $1.7 million, so a little bit more expensive than some of the other cars on the list, and it's going to do a top speed of 116.5 miles per hour. Its cutting corners lap was 102.6, so this is a fast car on a track. You guys can feel it immediately driving it around the map. It has a ton of grip and a ton of acceleration with that grip in and out of corners, so very fast on a track, not super fast up top, but definitely worth checking out if you guys like ripping around the map or road racing. Up next, guys, we have another classic here. We have the Jester Classic, which needless to say is modeled after the Mark IV Supra. This car is going to set you back $790,000, which in the grand scheme of things really isn't that bad, guys, so definitely a bargain for the classic iconic look that this car provides. You got 119.8 miles per hour out of its top speed, so definitely a great little highway cruiser, although its lap time does come in a bit slower at 106.5. I gotta be honest with you guys, this car is always a blast to show up to a car meet in. It always seems to get a lot of attention. People seem to like it and check it out, and it's really not that expensive. So up next, guys, we have another Elegy Retro Custom. Yes, I have two of these cars. Yes, I love them that much. They're that much fun to customize. They're that much fun to build. As I said before, guys, 3233 GTR. It's free to get into it as an RH8, but gonna set you back $904,000 to upgrade at Benny's. 115.3 miles per hour top speed and a lap time of 103.4 on cutting corners. Oh, I actually made a video about this car. You guys should check it out. Link in the description. And last but not least, guys, we have our Coquette D10 or Corvette C8. Guys, I absolutely love this car, although it glitches through the road when you drive it around the map, which is, you know, it's great for photos, maybe not for videos. It's all good. This car is going to cost you $1.5 million, so less than that Sultan Classic is going to run you. It's going to do 130 miles per hour for a top speed and a lap time of 104. So a little bit faster of a top speed out of this car, but a little bit slower around the track, so something to keep in mind. So guys, I think that actually just about wraps up episode 1 of our garage tours. Keep in mind, I do have a whole nother garage across the street. It's actually bigger than this garage, so if you guys really like this one, let's hit that like goal of 20 likes. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, and let me know down in the comments what your favorite car in the garage is. Thank you guys so much if you made it this far. I seriously appreciate the support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.